Hello, everyone. Ooh, we got a doozy for you today. My name is Bethany, and I want to talk about The Walking Dead. Season 11 finale. Finale. Now, The Ones Who Live is, of course, the spinoff that we're gonna get with Michonne and Rick. I'm very excited about it. I don't even know if I'm gonna get to watch it anytime soon though, because I don't have an AMC subscription at the moment. I used to, but hey, inflation, and I can't afford that right now. So, hopefully I'll get to watch it soon, and when I do, I'll make a video about it. But as it's coming out quite soon, it's coming out, February 25th, which is a Sunday, 2024. As of me recording this video, it is February 10th, 2024. So what do we got? 3 weeks? Yeah, let's see. 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2. That's 2 weeks. Wow. So as it's coming out quite soon, I wanted to kind of touch on what we thought of The Walking Dead season 11 finale. Now, really quick about season 11 in general. I didn't love it. I actually think it is one of the weakest seasons of Walking Dead story-wise. I'm not discrediting like the actors or anything like that. Everybody did a great job with what they had. But, you talk about usually shows, if it's a good show, right? It starts off like really strong, like up here, like really good, really good. Maybe like it's going up. Maybe it has a plateau, and then sometimes it starts to go down. That is the case here. For me personally, it started to go down when Andrew Lincoln left the show. Now, in terms of that whole situation, if a show is going to ruin an actor or an actress's family or marriage, I want them to prioritize their family and marriage over the show. If they had to pick, what's more important? What should be my priority here? This show, he is huge and making me so much money, and I have so many fans, or my family? I want you to pick your family, and no matter what. I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. I was devastated, right, when he left. But no, he made the right decision. And it's when you look up why he left, it says he wanted to spend more time with his family who lived in another country. And I believe he has 2 kids, and when he left the show, I think they were younger. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like he really wanted to be there for them, and rightfully so. So yeah, I was really sad when that happened, and yes, it kind of made the show go downhill, but I'm glad he did that, because again, if it helped his family or even saved his family in some way, that is worth it to me, because like, no, I don't want to see another actor get a divorce. I'm already like super sad that Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas are getting a divorce. Anyway, that's completely besides the point. When Andrew Lincoln left the show, it did go down, in my opinion. And the writers, though, I think they made the best of a complicated situation, and I think they did pretty good. They recovered. They wrote a story, that involves Rick leaving, or not leaving by choice, but disappearing. And I think it worked, for what they had to do. They had to do it that way. So while it was disappointing, we understand why, and I think again the writers did a pretty good job with it. So again, some shows, they're really good, really good, really good. They're going up, 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 and then maybe plateau, and then when they start to go down, they start to go downhill. Game of Thrones. But sometimes maybe they can start to go back up again. This was not the case with The Walking Dead season 11. Now when it came out, this was like a couple years ago, I think. I got an AMC subscription just to watch it, just for like a month. And right before I started the first episode, I wrote down some thoughts that I had and some concerns that I had. Now we're going to read them together. Worried Negan will die. We'll touch on that later. No, Carol and Daryl won't, because there's a freaking spinoff already announced. No, Rick and Michonne are fine, because a freaking spinoff. We'll touch on that later. If we don't see Rick, I'm going to be pissed. So, we're going to touch on each one of those thoughts that I was having before I started watching it. Worried Negan will die. I was worried they were going to kill off Negan because I thought they might do this like crazy redemption thing with him. Like maybe in order for Maggie to forgive him, he has to sacrifice himself, like for Herschel or something, which would have been like super sweet. But no, AMC needed to do a spinoff, which is fine. But I was at first worried they were going to kill him off. Now I'm glad they didn't, because I like Negan. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I like him. And I know the writers on this show are pretty dang good. And the comic writers, obviously, because they made me hate this character in season 7, I think it is. Starting then, made me hate him. And then over just a few seasons, all of a sudden, I like him. How does that work? How does that happen? Good writing and good character development. So, wow. I like Negan a lot, okay? I just do. He's flawed. He is perfect because he's flawed. So, and that episode about, I think it was in season 10, about Lucille, like the real Lucille, his wife. Oh, man, had me tearing up. Jeez Louise. So, I'm glad they didn't kill off Negan. I would have been very, very upset about that. Now, let's move on. No, Carol and Daryl won't die because there's a freaking spinoff already announced. Okay. When I watched the first episode, I think it was, of season 11, there was a trailer at the end of the episode for the spinoff. Actually, there were trailers for every spinoff, and there's 3 spinoffs, guys. So after the first episode, I see this trailer for Daryl Dixon, and it shows Carol and Daryl, and they're doing things, and they're alive, and so I'm like, well, I guess they're gonna be fine. And even like before I started the episode, apparently when I was writing these things down, I must have already seen a trailer with them in it. So and then the next one, no, Rick and Michonne are fine because there's a freaking spinoff. Same thing. I don't think that was the best play, and I'll tell you why. On AMC's part, I don't think that was the best play to show all of these spinoff trailers, because then we know Daryl is going to survive, Maggie, Carol, of course they're not going to kill off those characters, right? But whatever happened to like suspense and having to be patient and mysteries? Like, who's gonna live? Who's gonna die? We don't know. Well, yeah, we do because of the spinoff trailers. And, it was like, I wrote down, like, worried Negan will die. And then at some point, I saw a spinoff trailer for Dead City. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, they're not going to kill him off because he's in the spinoff. Well, then it wasn't as exciting. I wasn't on the edge of my seat. And you know that feeling? Like, when you're on the edge of your seat, you're so into it. You can't wait to see what's going to happen. And then it's all spoiled by a trailer. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Part of me is very, very glad to know that Rick is alive. But part of me is so disappointed too, because I'm glad he's alive. But where's the suspense? There was no suspense. I'm sorry. There just wasn't. I wasn't worried. During season 11, I wasn't worried. All my favorite characters are good. They're not going anywhere. They've got spin-offs coming. Probably multiple seasons of these spin-offs. So, my gosh. And, this is a major spoiler. But killing off Rosita, what was that? Sorry, it just popped into my head. It's a little out of left field, but that was really sad. Like, I don't really know how I feel about it, honestly. I mean, poor Coco, my gosh. So yeah, there was that. But going back to the spinoffs, oh my heavens. This is how I would have done it if it were up to me, which it's not, but if it were, I never would have done any spinoffs. Never would have done any spinoffs. This is what I would have done. I would have kept going with The Walking Dead. You have season 11. Well, season 12. Do season 12. Do season 13. There's shows that have multiple seasons that go into the teens, etc., etc. And I think they easily could have done that here. However, I think that if I was going to guess, I think AMC wanted money. I think the spinoffs are a money grab. They know people will watch them because people care about these characters and this story. Now I'm not I'm not an expert. I don't know that for a fact, but I also wasn't born yesterday. You look at Disney and with Star Wars, why all these shows and these movies that nobody asked for? Well, it's simple. They want money. So I wouldn't have done the spinoffs. I would have not ended The Walking Dead. I would have kept it going because guess what? If you want to tell these stories in the spinoffs, you still can. You can visit in an episode Maggie and Negan and see what they're doing. And then you can jump to Daryl. And then you can jump to Rick and Michonne. I think it works because when you look at Game of Thrones, think about how in the first few seasons, that's all the show did. It jumped from this person to this person to this person to this person. None of them are interacting. They're all on their own adventures. And so that's how I know it works if you do it right. So that's what I would have loved to see. For Walking Dead, I think they could have kept just keep the Walking Dead show going. That's what I would have done. And the spinoffs, we don't need the spinoffs. They don't have to be spinoffs. We want the stories because we care about them so much. They're so important to, us fans, but we don't really need spinoffs. I appreciate maybe they wanted to give all the characters enough time to tell their story, but I don't think that's why they did it. I think they did it for money. I really do. Which is sad. So, that's my 2 cents about that. Now, the last thing on this list that I wrote down was If we don't see Rick, I'm gonna be pissed. And thank God we got to see Rick, guys. It wasn't how I was expecting to see him. It wasn't even really how I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him reunited with these people that that's what I wanted. I wanted to see him reunite with Judith. I wanted to see him reunite with Daryl and Carol and Maggie and all these people. But I don't get that because AMC want money and they have to do their spin-offs or whatever. So I don't get that yet, but that's what I really wanted. My gosh. So that being said, even though it's not how I wanted it, I am so glad we got to see Rick. And it wasn't even like just like a voice, like his voice or whatever. It was him. Like, we got to see a full-on cameo. And with the freaking bare feet and bro looks like he hasn't eaten in days. And the smile at the end, like the like into the sunlight or whatever with the helicopter. I cried. I was tearing up. And then later I was reading, I think on YouTube under some video about it. Someone commented, it was like, dude, when you see Rick smile like that, something's about to go down, or like he's been through some crap. And I couldn't agree more. That smile was like crazed. Like, I need to know what this guy has been through. Holy crap. So that was the best part of the whole freaking season, in my opinion. Wow, so good. And just, I was so relieved to see him. It's like, I knew he was, alive and everything, but it's like to see him, wow. And Michonne on her horse and everything with her sword, I'm like, having a freaking seizure on my couch. Anyway, so I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Those are my thoughts. It was definitely not the best season of Walking Dead. In fact, I think it was one of the worst. I really don't care for the spin-offs. I think it's kind of dumb, but I'm just hoping and praying that they'll be good. I have seen Dead City and Daryl Dixon. I will be doing videos on those. So if you guys are interested in what I have to say about those, definitely subscribe, because otherwise you might not get notified on them. But oh man, yeah, I saw those, and hopefully I'll get to watch The Ones Who Live when it comes out on February 25th. I just kind of need an AMC subscription, which I don't know if I'll be able to afford that, but we'll see. And I will make a video on it at some point. So what did you guys think of season 11? Please tell me. I think that the show was missing a lot at that point. Carl, for one. Oh my gosh, Rick, and wow, many things. So yeah, let's talk. I read all the comments. I answer all of them. Just keep it friendly, please. We don't need to get into fights or anything. Anyway, that's all to say. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.